I'd like to begin the episode by thanking some people, like we usually do. It's a thing we do. People like Michael Rodriguez, James Taft, Zack Snyder Productions. It's an honor. Matthew D'Elia, and Evan Ritchie. All of these are people who have gone to patreon.com/Duckfeed.tv and kicked us some money and helped support this show and other shows on the network like it. Thank you to them. Thank you to everybody who supported us. And that is patreon.com/Duckfeed.tv. Here we go.
My name is Gary Butterfield.
My name is Cole Ross.
And you're listening to Watch Out for Fireballs. It is a Games Club podcast.
And this week we are talking about Grand Theft Auto Vice City, which is an open world game developed and published for the PlayStation 2 in 2002.
Yeah, and this episode was executive produced by Zumbini.
Thank you, Zumbini, for getting us off our ass. We are nearly 10 years into the show, and this is the first Rockstar game we've done.
Yeah, and the first GTA, as somebody in the Slack said, those motherfuckers did Simpsons Hit and Run before Grand Theft Auto and Dragon Age 2 before any Mass Effect.
Uh-huh.
And I said, yep. Those motherfuckers.
Those motherfuckers. Yep, that's us.
As Lizzo would say, we're those bees.
This is also the premium episode for this month, so everybody who's hearing this gets to hear the generalities and our discussion of kind of the missions and the story. That's all going to go for our patrons over at patreon.com/DuckFeedTV.
And to entice you, we're going to come, you got to hear us complain about those RC missions. Mm-hmm. Just a mere, $5 a month gets you all those back episodes.
Yeah. I like one. So, I don't like the other. And
I don't like either of them. But I was also playing it in a way that we'll talk about it.
Yeah, we'll talk about it.
Me trying to remap my controls to make those work on a keyboard without a numpad was quite a thing.
Yeah. So this is a big one. We've dabbled in open world games in the past. You mentioned Simpsons Hit and Run, which I forgot that we did. Yakuza kind of fits the bill. That was part of an open world poll.
But it isn't.
It isn't.
Really?
Yeah. Batman Arkham City kind of fits, but you're not really like driving around and stuff. This is the example. And I think that this has defined a lot of AAA games, not just Vice City, but I think that Grand Theft Auto Vice City kind of eliminates the need to think about or talk about Grand Theft Auto 3 in a way.
Yeah. We'll chat about that because this will be probably a fairly beefy generalities.
Yes.
And then when we get to the missions, some of them we're definitely going to cruise through because there's a billion of them. But this is a big deal, and this is what a lot of people think of when they think of open world games. And this is also one of those things where it's like, would there be an Ubisoft map marker nightmare genre without this?
There wouldn't. I think that it would take until like Assassin's Creed or Assassin's Creed 2 before that was like redefined, right?
Yeah. This is huge. It's also one of the biggest games we've done just in terms of pure hype and impact. Like we're talking about influence, but man, was this a big fucking deal?
This
not
was
only globally, but games. To me.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. For fuck's sake. Yeah.
Dude, this is, we early on in Watch Out for Fireballs, I had this thought last night as I was struggling to sleep because that's my life, about how we used to always be like, what's your history with this game? Like that was like a segment that we used to have.
Yes.
And we kind of stopped doing it. But this is something where it's like, this is the kind of thing where you can go to like your normie cousin,
Yes,
who just picks up Madden things and be like, man, Vice City, and they're gonna be like, dude, and just
man,
and just fucking love it. Like this was so. If you were alive and playing video games at this time, this looms incredibly large.
This was the center of so many just hangouts. And it's not a multiplayer game, but like you would get
it's like a bonfire.
Yeah. That's a really good way to put it. It's like it's something, you know, like people take turns like poking the bonfire with a stick, but everybody watches it, and like it is something for you to look at while you talk, right?
Yeah. And just absolutely mind-blowing incredibleness.
Yeah.
Just the coolest thing in the world. You show off to your friends. Infinitely fun, felt like infinite possibility, etc. And holds up as a mixed bag, which we'll talk about. But this is going to be one of those things where we flex our like importance and impact at the time versus the 2021 experience.
Yeah.
You know, kind of episodes.
It's one of those things that is kind of like, let's say, unflattened the genre for me, because like I've played every Grand Theft Auto game, at least the main ones, you know, so like I'm conversant in the series up through Grand Theft Auto 5, which I think is a good game.
I'm a veteran of the Chinatown Wars.
Chinatown Wars is good. It had that little drug arbitrage game. No, but like, you know, and also like I've played a lot of these, and I think that like, especially if you came up around this time, you think, oh yeah, they're all like, you know, it's all roughly the same thing. Well, no, like the games have gotten better around this structure, like, and it takes going back to see just how like unwieldy this is to understand.
Yeah, well, and not just these games, but games in general. Like there are lots of things that are now instinctively kind of figured out that were not figured out.
Yeah, like
at the time this game was made.
You know, at the time this game was made, it wasn't, you know, outside of Tomb Raider, it wasn't really a thing that you did to put the camera over the shoulder. Whereas like, you know, that's one of the reasons why Grand Theft Auto 5 is especially good, because it plays like a good action game, either in third person or first person. But like this, you know, the fact that this came before you just, you know, you took it for granted that you put the camera over the shoulder and you controlled it with your right stick. Well, you know, we get to see what happens when you don't do that by going back to this.
And it's lame.
Yes.
But it's not like totally its fault because they didn't know better.
Right.
You know, it's also one of those things, like this is one of the earliest games I can think of, or this, you know, GTA 3 really, but you know, Vice City counts as well, where something I associate with open world games is being a lot of things, but none of them particularly well.
Yeah. Like there's Crazy Taxi in this, but it's not, you know,
it's not like, good Crazy Taxi.
Yeah.
You know, there's like straight up racing in this, but it's not really good racing. You know, there's stunt racing. It's not really good stunt racing.
Yeah.
You know, all of those things. And that kind of being a marker when this game came out of you could do all of these things. Like this game contains all that stuff is the promise of an open world game. Yeah. Like you can do all of these things. It's open to you. Make your own fun is the selling point of this entire genre that turned out to be one of the biggest genres in games, like currently.
No.
You know, and it's really neat to kind of see the origins of that and see how that still ends up becoming a thing. Like even modern open world games, they do get better at this stuff, but there is a feeling like, you know, there's a bare level of competence that's required for each of the genres something's going to dabble in. You know, so like GTA 5, which I have not played, but like GTA 4 is a better shooter than this. Like it's a decent shooter for when it came out. It's not the best shooter. It's just I want to have a competent shooter along with my competent racing game, along with my competent story and my competent mini games and stuff, and kind of just slowly raising those bars a little bit, like to create like something like the game, like some kind of weird like platonic ideal of a game that just does everything. It's really weird. Yeah. And you trace the origins. It's a little fun.
Yeah. So in this, you play as Tommy Vercetti. You are a New York mobster, New York State. There is no New York City. It's just Liberty City. But you have been sent south to get a fresh start in Vice City after you did 15 years in prison for the mob. And this takes place, importantly, in 1986, whereas Grand Theft Auto 3 was contemporary to when it came out. That was, you know, supposed to be 2001.
And it's an opposite of a verbal flaw. Like it's the selling point for this to me. It's responsible for all of the flavor that is good. Like the flavor that is bad, Rockstar is responsible for that.
Yep.
Like the humor and stuff
But
like
Gary,
that.
what
and
if
the flavor that
everybody's
is
stupid?
good. I haven't considered that. Maybe everyone's a moron. And everything in America is dumb and nihilistic and not worth it.
Yeah.
So Grand Theft Auto 3, is what came before this. So this was really planned as an expansion to that and turned out to be a sequel. It plays very similarly to Grand Theft Auto 3, but that flavor edition is huge. It does play better. And then it has giving a voiced and fleshed out protagonist. And story is really huge because GTA 3, which is not as good, not as fun, and also just has a nameless weirdo.
Claude.
Who you do your... Claude, the crime man.
Claude, the sharp-faced crime man is what they call him.
Yeah. Yep. He's not quite Max Payne, but he kind of is in his face. That guy. So this is a big improvement on that.
Yeah.
And as we mentioned, a third-person action game. Where it's an open world game. Like you have free reign over the city kind of by portions, full of people and vehicles, and you get missions and guidance and stuff, but you can also just do whatever the fuck you want.
Yes.
Which mostly includes, running around, jumping or stealing, Grand Theft Autoing or Grand Theft Coptering vehicles.
Grand Theft Copter. I like it. So we can talk about like the individual emotion stuff. The less time you spend on foot in this game, the better. Like you can navigate, but the controls are pretty janky. Like on console, you really don't have any control whatsoever over the camera. There's just a button that recenters it behind you. You mentioned having trouble playing this on PC. I played this just on the PS5 edition because the draw of my recliner was too great for me to play it on PC. So I accepted a lot of drawbacks in order to be comfortable while I played it.
I have a compact keyboard, so I don't have a number pad.
Okay.
So that is what I think that a keyboard mouse is probably the way to do this. If you have a number pad, because certain vehicles they did not know how to how to program for outside of that. So I did a lot of like shitty remapping. So with mouse look, it is a lot better than that, but it is still not very fun on foot, not least of which because of the radio, which we'll talk about later. And because of fragility, which we'll talk about later.
Yes.
There is melee combat in this, but there's no lock-on for it. You just kind of swing around. It reminds me so much of fucking State of Emergency, which I know makes sense. But man, it's like they just stripped all the cool stuff out of Grand Theft Auto and just made like what if this could stand on its own? We'll make State of Emergency.
Can't. No.
It definitely can't.
You just mentioned the game State of Emergency without like any lead up to it, as if that's a game that anybody remembers.
Yeah, everybody knows State of Emergency.
Yeah. Well, hey, do you remember the WTO riots in Seattle? Like in 1999 or 2000, remember those? Well, Rockstar decided, what if we made a game that was just entirely about going around and just hitting a bunch of people in a crowd? Well, there we go.
Yeah.
Here's this.
Beating the crap out of people with their own head and shit.
Yeah.
Just the melee from Grand Theft Auto.
Not great.
Not great. There is lock-on for guns, but this was before we knew how to do it.
Yep.
It's an improvement from GTA 3. GTA 3, the lock-on was just whatever was closest.
Yes.
Here, it attempts to prioritize, based on something, like some kind of AI. It's not very good. Like, oftentimes I will lock onto the wrong person. The camera doesn't always point me towards that.
You can lock on to characters that your mission is to protect.
Yep. Yeah.
You're supposed to protect Lance.
Yeah, like Lance, you can end up shooting Lance like a bunch.
Yeah.
And you accidentally, like same way that you accidentally lay down in MGS2, you accidentally shoot people in this game in a way that is like a powerful argument for gun abolition. Because if guns were really this prevalent and worked like this, everyone would be getting accidentally shot all the time.
Well, people get accidentally shot all the time.
So, I guess that's true. You are very likely to kill your family members, gun owners, just FYI.
Yeah, so be
Incredibly likely.
Be extremely careful.
Very likely to kill your son.
Not my son.
Very likely.
One of the main problems for me was that lock-on didn't center the camera on the thing that I was going to shoot. And also, like when you're locked on, you're not really able to move. So you can't really
yeah.
do any like evasive maneuvers. Yeah, so like, okay, I need to, in the middle of this fight, unlock on from you so I can move to safety and hope that I can relock onto you when I stop.
Yeah, here's like this game has a real problem with defensive vocabulary.
Yeah.
Just to throw a real WoW classic in there.
Yeah, there's the stuff.
It's you fights in this end up being weirdly kind of like 3D Final Fantasy 1 fights, where a lot of them was me just standing and two guys just shooting each other, standing there shooting each other.
It was like that one White Stripes video.
Yeah. Really, really awkward. The car controls, the vehicle controls are much better.
Yeah.
And you want to be in a car because it is fun.
Yeah.
Each car, there's a really wide variety of cars. They each handle very differently on a number of axes. So like turning radius, durability, speed on straightaways, things like that.
Like how sharp of a turn they can take before flipping over.
Yes. Like top heaviness.
Yeah. Like driftability too. Yeah.
Just very, very huge variety of cars.
Yeah.
Which is cool, which means, and that adds a strategy element we'll talk about when we talk about the flow of the game, where you can be like, what kind of car do I want for this mission?
Yes.
Can I attempt to set that up?
Yeah. And like the controls are pretty tight, like it is like Lucy, like a Lucy arcade game kind of thing. But like with specifically with the handbrake, I felt pretty great about the maneuvers that I was able to pull. Like, you do end up like getting slammed into a lot. Like that is the thing that ends up like breaking that's the thing that kind of ends up breaking things for you here. But like, if you're able to play evasively, you do really cool stuff in cars.
Yeah, and if you're not trying to evade at all, like this is a later bullet point that I was going to introduce, but this is definitely its most fun, where you just fire it up and go do some shit.
Yeah,
and we'll talk about that as a flow, because as the game that kind of introduced, that as a concept, make your own fun in an open world. This game sings when you're doing that, even today. Like it's still really fun to put on the radio, put on a fast car or motorcycle, and just drive around at night.
To put on fast car.
Put on a fast car, put on a fast motorcycle, and put on the song "Fast Car," or put on something by motorcycles.
Yeah.
So cars are very fragile, even good ones, basically. So cars, as police just suicide ram into you, or people shoot you, your cars will get more progressively damaged. So this has the classic white smoke, black smoke, fire scale that I feel like every gamer of a certain age just has intuited. Like, it was amazing to me how instinctual my like bail was when black smoke.
Oh yeah.
I was just like, oh shit, I know exactly the semiotics of that.
Yep.
Really, really fun. And then an advantage, or like a upgrade from Vice City, or to Vice City from 3, is that you can pop tires.
Yes.
And this is really huge, both because it's really chaotic and kind of fun when it happens to you, but then also you can tactically do it.
Yes. You can pop the tires of like somebody that you're chasing, or they can just end up popping. You can do like drive-bys in this. I forgot to make a note of that, but like that is really, really important to this. With automatic weapons, you can just, strafe whatever you're going by.
And if you're on a motorcycle, you can do forward buys. Or drive forward.
Yeah, imperative. Well, you can just fire over the handlebars. It's imperative. Like, it is so important to be able to do that. Yeah.
Yes. We'll talk about difficulty in this, and how necessary it is to use every fucking option at your disposal.
Yeah. But like we said, if your car takes too much damage, or if it flips over, I love the instant engine catching fire if you flip over. It'll explode, and if you're inside or too close, this will kill you instantly. So you got to do that bail. You got to send it careening off into the ocean. Yeah.
Or just run away while all this stuff is happening, and just like, steal another car.
Yeah.
One of my favorite things about this, that I think is actually ridiculously huge, is adding motorcycles and scooters, which to my hands feel so much better than cars.
Oh yeah.
There is not one mission or one opportunity in this entire game where if a motorcycle was an option, I didn't take it, because they feel so much more zippy and fun. And it's a really interesting kind of trade-off between, your durability. Like, if you hit something in a motorcycle, you fly off no matter what.
Right.
It's not something where you can take some damage. It just feels so much better, and you can get into tighter spaces.
Yeah, you can lane
It
split.
feels like it's what the game is meant for. Yeah. That's really fun. And yeah, like I just adding that, and then in terms of joyriding, like jumping on, a cool motorcycle, listening to sunglasses at night, wearing sunglasses at night is really hard to understate how fun that is, or overstate how fun it is.
Like if you get onto like the sport motorcycle, the PCJ 6000 or whatever it is, or even like the dirt bike, it goes fast enough that the game can't even load in the stuff in front of you. Like, take a seat, Cyberpunk. We've already got this here where the vehicles go too fast for the game to load.
Yeah, the more things change.
Yeah. But like the vehicle, like the motorcycles specifically, it changes the like regular brake and handbrake for front brake and back brake, which gives you so much control over your turning. And your ability to just kind of like stop on a dime. And the city is designed for bikes. Like they knew they were adding this. And so, not only are there like hidden paths and lots of alleyways here, but there are jumps that like let you take huge shortcuts. And they're really cool. Like when you go off of a jump, it goes slow-mo and it like ranks you for the distance and the height and the hang time and how much spin you did. Yeah.
Yeah, and you get cash rewards for them. I don't know if this is necessarily like a bullet point later. It's kind of also another kind of hidden improvement of this between GTA 3 is not only is the level, the map better designed for bikes, it's just better designed in general.
Yeah.
Liberty City, I remember even at the time thinking it was not a very fun design.
Yeah.
For, is mostly flat except for that one hills area. This is really flat, but with lots of little ramps, recognizing that like in Excite Bike, the ramps that made you jump really high were more fun than like the gentle inclines and declines you could do.
Yeah.
And like GTA 3 is like all the gentle inclines and declines, and this is like an Excite Bike track with all ramps.
Yeah.
It's just a lot more fun. There are a lot more shortcuts, some of which that aren't marked on your map. Like that feeling, that we talked about in Simpsons Hit and Run, that is one of the things this genre is trying to get you to do, which is like know the city.
Yeah.
Really happens organically in this better than it did in GTA 3.
Yes.
Where, and part of that is because of motorcycles, because there are shortcuts that you can take only with motorcycles, and partly because the game is designed to have more of them.
Yeah. It's easier to get from like neighborhood to neighborhood or bureau to bureau. Like there was something about the way that the highways were designed in GTA 3. Like you don't really have highways here. Like you just have the bridges that connect you. Oh yeah, no, definitely.
Liberty City as well, and has the fucking highways,
the highways and the interchanges, and like, if you want to go east, you actually need to like start from halfway through this neighborhood because that's where the on ramp goes. It's almost like it's like a little bit of like a nod toward realism over like readability or fun that we're going to model this city like it's an actual city. And it makes it hard to navigate, something that ameliorates that in GTA 4 and then in GTA 5, it definitely fixes it because like the city is just better designed, because it's LA and it's kind of like more wide open and more varied, like lots of rural areas. But like, I really missed having a GPS in this.
Yeah.
Like later games would actually add pathing and show you the optimal path, on the mini map for you here. That is not the case here.
No. The amount of time, like this is a side point and later, but it does impact your flow. The amount of times you're checking maps and this early on really does kind of break the flow.
Yeah.
I spent a lot of time in the pause menu, just kind of being like, okay, on the third right, that's the bridge that it gets me across to the island.
Yes.
Yeah. Your character, Tommy, here has 100 health points. You can buy or find armor that gives you 100 more. And this is nothing. This is tissue paper. This will melt
so fast.
This will melt inadvisably quickly. One of the most frustrating things about this game, or things that really stops it from being very fun, or as fun as it could be in 2021, is the fact that you are the most fragile dude.
Tommy's health bar is the puff of cotton candy, and enemies with submachine guns are the raccoon that tries to wash it.
Yes, and it just over and over, you just get washed and washed and washed.
Yep.
You go to the hospital. if you die, you respawn, you lose a little bit of money, you lose your weapons, which is a bummer. Like losing money is not really a problem, but I got bummed out by losing an arsenal.
Losing weapons is a pretty big deal because you have to go and do like errands before you get hideouts that just provide them to you. I eventually just memorized the cheat code to get weapon sets.
Yeah. And nothing wrong with that because all you're doing is saving yourself time.
Yeah.
To get these weapons. And if you do this on a mission, which we'll talk about later, you can get a taxi to start you back to the beginning of the mission. We'll talk about that as, what was the fatal flaw for me in GTA 4.
Yeah.
And is one of the worst things that the series didn't fix for a very long time.
Mm-hmm. Checkpointing. Yeah. Like just didn't include ever until very, very recently. Yeah. One of the other failure conditions is to be caught by the police. Either, like if they kill you, end up being wasted, but like if they down you and stand over you, you're arrested, or if they manage to pull you out of a car, you're arrested. And the police start coming after you. There's a system here called the wanted level. As you commit crimes, and as cops witness them, you accrue stars. You go from 1 to 6. Those 6 stars is really, really difficult to achieve.
Yeah, and it's very serious.
Yes.
So 1 star is no big deal. This will go away on its own.
Yeah.
This is police will pursue you if they see you. A couple of cars are spawned. A couple of beat cops will chase you, but you can shake this off, literally just by getting out of sight.
Yeah, by going a couple blocks down the road. Yeah.
Yeah. 2 stars is kind of when it's a little bit more serious. There are more police and officers and cars. They'll actively pursue you, and this will not shake off on its own.
Right.
You either have to do a spray and pay, which we'll talk about, or have to pick up a kind of a rare pickup.
Yeah.
To get rid of this.
Mm-hmm. At 3 stars, the chase speed ramps up. Police get more aggressive. Also, the cops start putting out roadblocks, like spike strips start going out. Which, just wacky, wobbly driving fun as they pop your tires. And also police helicopters will come after you. The police helicopters just kind of basically make it harder to evade. They don't actually attack you just yet. They just kind of keep an eye on you and make it harder to lose your stars if you're trying to do it naturally.
And I don't know if this is actually true, but something that I feel like I noticed with this, this was the first level, and this could have been like actively a mechanic or just a function of how many objects could be spawned in the world. But it felt like this is the level in which there were fewer cars on the road.
Yeah.
Which actually has a huge impact because if you're getting shot or you're getting rammed into and your car is on fire, the presence of pedestrians is how you escape.
Yes.
Like running out and jumping into another car. And kind of from this level and higher, that's rarer and rarer until 5 and 6 stars, where the streets are basically clear.
Right.
And it becomes incredibly difficult to replace your vehicle.
Yeah. Starting at 3 stars and like especially at 4, it's especially noticeable when they start doing like roadblocks and checkpoints, like not even just the spike strips, but like there will be vans set up across the roads. Yeah, and that it just wherever you're going, fewer or no cars will spawn in front of you as you go. At 4 stars, like I said, that's where the SWAT vans appear. They are full of heavily armed SWAT officers that will shoot you with machine guns. Again, this will cause your car to blow up very quickly, or you to die as you are filled with holes.
Yeah. 5 stars when the FBI shows up. So they're in these high-speed, unmarked vehicles that are very durable. There is a mechanic of this where you put cars in garages so you can use them whenever you want.
I love it. Love
it
these
is
FBI
advantageous
cars.
It's advantageous to get to 5 stars just to spawn these once and steal one.
Yeah.
Because these are really, really good, effective cars for a lot of missions. And then 6, you're fucked. The military shows up. And this includes tanks, and tanks in this game are very funny because if any car hits them, they instantly explode.
It's like that mission in GoldenEye.
Exactly.
Going down St. Petersburg. Yeah. But yeah, you get tanks, you get military helicopters. Driving tanks is very fun. That was one of the cheat codes that we used the most when we were just kind of fucking around. And like generally, whenever I sat down, like the game, quote unquote, that we played as we were hanging out was, how high can you get your wanted level and how long can you survive at that?
Yeah, absolutely. That's the classic.
Yeah.
and that was really fun. That's a fun multiplayer game with tons of emergent chaos.
Yes.
That happens in these situations, like unplanned, wacky shit that will happen. Like you're on a motorcycle, a cop comes out of nowhere, hits you, and instead of dying, you fly off, land on a roof that has a helicopter on it. And then you're just like, well, when in Rome, and then grab that and get chased by, police helicopters until that blows up and you dive and you fall on a boat. Like shit like that can like literally happen that is unplanned and very chaotic and fun.
And funny. Just very funny, almost like slapstick situations if you manage to survive. Like an effective way to get a lot of stars is to like post up on a rooftop and just machine gun people at the base. But like that sucks. You're not moving.
Yeah, that's not very it's not very creative. Like again, if you're not in a car, it's not very fun.
Right.
In this game. So that is and that's like this game at its best.
Yeah.
Right. Like it's nihilistic, dumb violence, but it's really chaotic. And it's what the series, even before they were 3D, was known for.
Right.
I'm going to talk so much fucking trash about the mission design in this game.
Yes.
So if people are just like, man, these guys really love Vice City, wait, because I'm gonna try to make somebody cry. Like I'm really mad about it. It's some worst in class. Stuff. But this is actually fucking sublime and incredibly fun. Just doing that. So you mentioned you can de-escalate at certain levels, but cops will keep spawning in. There are bribe pickups that will lower your wand level by 1 star, which are kind of rare. But the main thing you're going to be doing is going to pay and spray services, which are not a thing, but are just like the most popular business in town as dictated by this game world. Which is going into a place, getting your car repainted to another color and getting a new engine so cops won't recognize you.
Which is hilarious because you can do this on motorcycles too.
And cabs. Like this is a different yellow cab, I promise.
Suspect is wearing a blue Hawaiian shirt. I repeat, blue Hawaiian shirt, green motorcycle. Okay, I've got a suspect, same suspect. Appears to be bloodied from being shot. Blue Hawaiian shirt, but it's a red motorcycle this time. Disregard.
Call it off.
Oh my God, it's a ghost car.
One of my favorite mechanics in this is that when you get rid of this, it's still temporarily there. It will flash, which is like kind of like you being on probation. And those moments are some of my favorite. They're really tense where I'm like just driving and following the traffic laws. And making sure I don't, because if you like touch the bumper of a cop car when this is happening, you're all of a sudden they're like, hey, wait a minute. I know that gentle touch. Like, or it just goes back to what it was. If you were at 5 stars and go into a pay and spray and then tap a cop car, they're like, wait a minute, I recognize you. You're the guy who killed everybody.
I'm really embarrassed how many times I just by the skin of my teeth got into a pay and spray. And okay, like 4 stars, we're going to be just fine. A-okay. I backed out without looking.
It's a very funny thing that happens constantly in this game. And if you get to the pay and spray and the entrance is just surrounded by cops, and then as the garage opens, they all go, oh, he's different now. And they all just slowly start driving away. It's very funny.
Like every pay and spray is like an embassy. Like, shit, he's on Croatian soil.
Diplomatic emergency. Like he's learned his lesson. It's like a rehab center that you go into and fast forward. It's very funny to me. We mentioned those bribe pickups that lower your wand level. This game has arcade style pickups around in a way that is kind of calling back to its origins as a 2D game. Like a more arcadey 2D game. So there are things you can get that restore your health. You can get adrenaline, which will give you bullet time for a short amount of time. Not great. And then there are rampages, which we'll talk about. That's a kind of a mission type. Almost. But there are just kind of things you can like pick up. I think in the adrenaline, you also kill people by punching them.
Maybe.
With that.
I never tried that. They're so incredibly rare and seem to be like specifically put near missions that would use them. So, yeah.
They ended up feeling very superfluous to me. Like I didn't use the pickup game very much in this. It was more of a crime of opportunity. And they felt rare to me. Like I didn't see a lot of them, on mission. So it felt like a weird holdover. To me.
So like we said, this is a sandbox game. You don't have to pursue the main story. So this leads to that kind of bonfire kind of deal. You don't have to follow the traffic laws, but that was another thing that I did just to irritate the people that were watching me. Like, why in the world are you stopping at a red light? Like, it's a fucking red light. I don't want to get arrested.
Yeah, like, come on, these laws protect us all. We live in a society.
Click it or
Tommy
ticket,
Vercetti's
dude.
not Joker-fied yet. Yeah. But as you mentioned, so you do whatever you want in this. There are a lot of funny and goofy cheats that you can do. So like spawning a tank, spawning helicopters, making vehicles fly, giving everyone a gun.
Yep.
In the city, things like that. And then of course, like the early 2000s sexism, like only ladies get big guns. All the ladies are in bikinis, shit like that.
Yeah. So cheats are good. You can mess up your save game. Like they warn you this time if you save with a cheat on certain cheats anyway. In Grand Theft Auto 3, they didn't. Fun thing where you could just lose all your progress if you're playing the game like that. If you do decide to pursue the story, you do missions for various people within the Vice City criminal underworld. These gain you weapons, they gain you money, you unlock weapons, and let you progress through the story, kind of that escalates, to you doing wackier, more demanding kinds of things. Broadly, let's talk about the mission design in this, because I want to give you room to like lay out at least your thesis before we get into the specifics. Talking about like individual problem missions.
Individual missions.
Right.
Yeah. I think in general, these really suck. Almost across the board. Like, they're really obvious when they are just hateful and frustrating, which is a lot of them sprinkled seemingly at random. These feel like they are distributed with no eye towards escalating difficulty. Yeah. There's escalating complexity, but incredibly tough missions will show up very early and seemingly at random. But when they're not tough, it's very rare that they are inventive or like particularly fun. Like they're made within this very constrained possibility space. Like it feels like there wasn't a lot of imagination as to what you could be doing in a mission.
Yeah, it kind of always ends up being kind of the same 3 or 4 things, usually involving like get here, kill this person, get away. Usually is what it is.
Do a thing and then get a certain amount of wanted level and then get away with that. And that's to drive the core mechanic of driving and evading the police, which is like what this game is about, right? Like evading the police in a car. And that can provide a lot of fun chaos, as we mentioned. But because the fail conditions are so, cars tend to be so fragile, you are so fragile, it's, pretty easy just to have chaos happen and get pulled out of your car and get arrested. Yeah. You just end up starting over a lot.
Yeah.
In this.
Missions also pile on very, let's see here. They pile on failure conditions that are really easy to tip.
Yes.
So like, oh, you shouldn't, this car got destroyed. You dummy. You need to start over again. This person died. This really restrictive time limit passed. Like just kind of these failures that are not necessarily like interesting ways. It's just kind of like, hope that maybe the cop doesn't come at you from this direction this time, maybe, or like hope that the lock on you roll the dice and you lock onto the right person at the right time when you go at this, like,
or when you start it spawns a better car. Like the random cars that spawn are better. Anything like that. The AI cheats like a motherfucker. The AI will drive very well. It's pretty amazing. The corners these fuckers are taken.
Yep.
Cars will arbitrarily be bulletproof. Which this, like, GTA games are my example of like something I don't like in game design, which is game developers being like, hey, this guy's going to be invincible until this point because we want to do this little set piece. So if you were really clever and figure out a way to snipe this guy before the mission started that you need to kill, fuck you. Like he's invincible until we don't want him to be, so we can do this absurd chase that's really obnoxious that you're going to fail 10 times.
Yeah. Or, this mission will give you like a really bad like set of vehicles or something like that. Like if you put a better car somewhere near, well, maybe we'll just despawn that because we want you to do it in this one. It gets rid of the good part of simulation, which is preparation. Right.
Yeah. Yeah. I want to be able to think my way around problems. I don't want to just have luck and reflexes.
Yeah.
And there's very little strategy to any of your problem solving in this. The Vorpal flaw to this, which it was at least, my understanding is they kind of solved this in GTA 5.
They do.
GTA 4, which is the last one I played. This is fucking maddening, is that when missions are always based on getting the mission from a guy and then going across town to start it.
Yes.
But the start of the mission is considered when you get it from the guy. So when you start over a mission, you are going to the far east side of the map to learn what the mission is, and then the far west side to execute it. And if you die at any point, you're doing the entire thing over.
Yes.
There's never like, you can take a cab after if you die on the mission from the hospital or from the police department, but it doesn't matter because you're just going way out of your way. So you're redoing this drive over and over and over, which is an opportunity to accidentally get water in stars or, damage your vehicle that you want to use for this. Like it has a big cost. And go into our dispatch from last month about fail states. Like this game and this series is really bad at having an option for failure other than just fuck you, do it again.
Yeah.
And it makes you fuck you, do it again to a large swath of non-interactive and barely interactive content.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I do not disagree with any of that. The starting at one place, starting in an unrelated place, and that being considered like that is the thing that you fast travel to, just fills the game with a lot of useless driving. And like the driving is fun, but like if I'm trying to accomplish something, I don't know, like maybe start me where the action starts, please. And that's what they ended up doing later on.
And we talked about rapid iteration.
Yeah.
Being really, really important to combat frustration.
Yes.
So like if I'm going to be frustrated, if I'm going to fail a mission, I immediately want to try again. Like, fuck, man, like I just want to get through this. And in this game, there are a lot of bottlenecks. Like the mission design, it's not just the individual missions that have that problem. It's the quest structure in general, where you will end up at bottlenecks where you have to do an onerous mission before any of the rest of the game will open up.
Yeah.
It's not designed to where, you want this kind of thing to be like you flow around the rocks. Like, hey, this is really irritating. I can go do something else for a little while and then come back to this, preferably when you're stronger, but at least like more experience and stuff. There are many points in this where there's one thing you can do in terms of progressing the story. And if it blows, fuck you, chew through it.
Yep.
You have to chew through these ropes if you want to escape.
Yeah.
Arbitrary things are mandatory. Things that feel like they should be side quests and they're not related to the main story at all are things that are like plot bearing. You
gotta go do the missions for Love Fist. You gotta do the missions for the Cubans and then for the Haitians.
Why do I have to do the fucking missions for Love Fist? Like, why do I have to start help Burt Reynolds, the realtor, to become Scarface?
It has nothing to do with my ascent in the underworld.
A better way to design this would have been many different people you could make your reputation with and make them, instead of it being a completionist thing where you want to do all of them and having arbitrary ones be mandatory, be like the second act of Baldur's Gate 2 or whatever.
Yeah.
Raise this much money. Here's a huge amount of options to do it. And you just, that would be great. You can do it more of them if you want to, but don't make these mandatory arbitrarily. It fucking sucks. It literally killed GTA 4 for me. Like a game I was really enjoying up until I just got to a really hard mission that I had to drive all the way across the map.
Yeah.
To restart. And I was just like, I can't fucking do this.
Yeah.
It's not my cousin asking me to bowl. It's not all the gross sexism. It's not the fact that they included a Ricky Gervais stand-up set and thought that would be good. It's the fact that it's the fact that to make progress in this, I am constantly redoing this bullshit. It's so irritating and it's so frustrating to me that they took them that long to figure out that sucked.
Yeah.
Like, did nobody play this and just be like, hey man, this isn't that fun? And I have to believe someone did, and they were like, I might, it's good. All right.
Yeah.
Cool.
And like, as the representative on here who has played Grand Theft Auto 5, like, I will go to bat for that and say a huge thing about that game is that you have 3 characters, so that flowing around the rocks happens super naturally. We're like, Super space naturally.
Trevor is a werewolf.
Well, you might as well be. That would explain a lot.
Torture werewolf.
But like each of the characters like does such different things. You decide, oh, I'm tired of this one. I want to come back when I have more patience. For Michael's bullshit. Well, let me go and do some Trevor missions because those are really fun. Or let me go do Franklin's missions because I like the driving in this. That's a huge deal. As part of the meta thing. Good.
Epic when it was free.
Oh yeah.
GTA 5 or it was on sale or something. So I have that. And in playing this, I've been very tempted to like fire it up finally.
It's good. It's a really good game.
No, I'm curious about it. I would love to. Who has time to play video games that aren't for work? Everyone except us. But I just haven't. I've been keeping my eyes on the prize, and then also plus I got depression.
Oh,
but it's been on my list of things to pick up along with Red Dead Redemption 2 because I've been feeling some warmness towards this genre through the good parts of what this does.
No, I beat this and I was like, man, I really want to play a dumb open world game. I just fired up and beat the original Assassin's Creed because that's like a 12-hour game that gives you that gives you a taste of this.
We got to do Mercenaries at some point for the show.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
That game is so fucking fun. So lots of side missions, some of which are like story side missions. Like you don't have to do all of those things. It's kind of arbitrary which ones you do. And then there are different missions that are related to businesses you can run.
Yes.
So if you're in a police car, you can be like, I'm police. And you can, I'm Seinfeld. And you can do missions for them. And this is where we get the stuff like we talked about, like Worst Crazy Taxi. Is through, playing in the taxi space.
Yeah. Like ambulances, Crazy Taxi, but you have to drive real careful.
Sane taxi.
Reasonable taxi.
Yeah, responsibility ends.
The sensible world of taxi.
Yeah.
Oh man. And like these are missions that you can fire them off by pressing R3 when you're inside those vehicles. They're a way to get cash, but primarily like you get like unlocks. So like if you do all of the ambulance, if you raise out your ambulance rank, like you get the ability to like sprint unlimitedly, which is a pretty big deal,
Which is like both good in terms of quality of life and then also efficacy.
Yes.
In missions, it's just they're a pain in the ass to kind of grind these up.
Yeah. You kind of have to it has to be the summer of 2003. And like this is one of the only games that you have.
Yes, yeah. And definitely, when we talk about a little bit later, like I wanted to talk, like we kind of touched on it a little bit, but the way that this game is so much better when you're just hanging out in it, than when you're trying to complete it. And how one of the things I realized that partly because of my job, but partly because of my age and the state of the world, I can't really be that person. That this game wants me to be. Like if you're still able to just like, I'm just going to put on a game and hang out for a few hours with nothing really to drive me. If you're still capable of that, the way that I was able to do it when I was 22, then like Yahtzee.
Yeah.
Like this game is still real good for that. I have a really hard time with that now. But I don't really put that on the game. That's me.
I'm not like pointing out a contradiction or calling you a hypocrite. That's just very funny in relation to our discussion about roguelikes and just kind of the ability to like set up one of these forever games where like progress isn't necessarily a thing that you're making by playing it.
You make progress through roguelikes. It's just different than There's not. I can't. Other than Isaac, which I have like everything unlocked, like all the other roguelikes I've played, I unlock something every time.
Gotcha.
I play at generally. But it is a slower sense of progress than this. This is more about like the experience of hanging out without a goal, like how it feels to do that, like what you're actually doing, not so much the sense of progress. Like in this, like what you're doing when you're just hanging out is again, jumping on a motorcycle, putting on Wave 103 and like, being cool, having fun and soaking vibes. Like having the time for that.
The actual experience of the play is not necessarily its own reward. And in this, it's kind of the trappings of it is the wrong word, because that sounds more superficial than what's going on. Yeah, I don't think it's a contradiction, but I wanted to call attention to that, because there's like the difference between a hang game and a forever game kind of thing, right?
Yeah. And to me, like, a hang game is a real, a forever game can have strenuous goals to it and challenge and stuff. And a hang game is more like, I'm sitting down to play with this like a toy. I'm not sitting down to accomplish anything, even kind of regardless of whether there's progress with that accomplishment. Accomplishment is not the goal.
Right.
Hanging out is the goal.
One goal in this that I never had any affection for is the hidden packages.
Sure.
There are hundreds of them. If you're a weirdo who likes to collect those, this is a series mainstay. I just don't think exploring the world like this is very fun.
On foot.
Yeah.
Specifically, one of the things that I felt like I was a genius when San Andreas came out, that I felt like I was a genius for thinking up, was like, why doesn't this game have a Walkman? Like, I was walking around trying to get packages or do some bullshit on foot. And I was just like, man, I missed the radio. And I don't like the radio in San Andreas as much as the radio in this game, but I still wanted the radio. To me, that fucks up hidden packages.
Yeah.
Almost exclusively. Like, the radio is so powerful in this, and rest assured, we're going to talk about it a lot.
Yes. We mentioned rampages a little bit before. Like, these are power-ups, but they put you into a special mission. These are usually like in like public squares or piazzas, stuff like that. They give you a weapon, and they task you with killing a certain amount of people within a time limit.
This is that kind of nihilistic, 2D GTA.
Yes.
Just what the series is known for. It's what, shitty senators thought this game was wall to wall.
Thought every video game was. Yeah.
Yeah. There are also little races you can do in the city arena. There are so many of these. I didn't really do these, but it's there, which is cool. There's also kind of a property mini game in this. You can buy businesses, make money from them, and do missions from them in a way that kind of reminded me of like loyalty quests.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Yeah, because you buy them, and in order to realize the gains, like, you have to do the missions to get them set up.
Yeah, and then you get a perk. The perk, again, is limited by that possibility space. Like, the perk is money.
Yeah.
And at a certain point pretty early on, you're only making money to make money. In this, like, there's only so many weapons I want to buy.
Yeah. This is something else that was wildly expanded in Grand Theft Auto 5, the real estate and like investment game. Like, there's a stock market that has like individual missions where, when you buy stock in a company, you can go and like sabotage competitors to make it raise up.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
And then the kind of equivalent to this in San Andreas was the gang wars and like territory stuff. So they're always doing some version of this in the series.
And that's a story. That's a story requirement in this. Well, and in San Andreas, at a certain point, you have to amass enough crooked businesses to build your empire.
Yes, and there's some humor to be found in the way that every business is already criminal. No matter what.
You're just hermit crabbing in.
Yeah, you just kind of come in and they're just like, no, we know the deal. Like, here are the crimes we do. Do you want to do them with us? And you're like, I'm Tommy Vercetti. I'll do them better. And, it is pretty funny exactly how corrupt everything is in this. Even though that does run into the like everything is shitty South Parkism of this.
Yes.
Which sucks.
Yeah. So let's get into like the aesthetics and production value kind of stuff. Like, this is an ugly game if you look at it now.
The people.
Oh boy,
the guy who's the driver in the heist mission. That guy.
Yeah.
Holy shit! Like mask, like fucking Rocky Dennis looking motherfucker. I could not handle that model.
No.
Very hard time with that.
Yeah. Like, the character models are really limited, and just like the world is just a little bit like warped and wonky, and stilted. But it's the era that it came from, right? And I think that the thing that kind of like makes this feel a little bit more timeless is its setting. The fact that it's in the 80s and they could rely on the stereotypical like neon and Memphis school kind of stuff and the like crazy fashion gives this game a lot of color, something that Grand Theft Auto 3 and 4 really, really lack. But also just an identity that makes this, just immediate. You can immediately clock that this is Vice City.
Yeah. Well, and one of the advantages of playing this on PC is it's really easy to patch this and make it look significantly better. Like if you put the basic, first result on Google or first thing on the Steam message board mods for this, it actually looks really pretty good.
Yeah.
There are a lot of advancements in lighting and stuff like that that really emphasize the strength of the setting and de-emphasize everything except for the character models.
Yes.
Character models still look crappy, but buildings and cars can look really good.
Yeah.
The biggest thing that carries the setting for this, other than just the neon and the Miami Vice visual trappings, is the Miami Vice song on the soundtrack. Among many, many other soundtracks of 80s hits. This was a huge, not just selling point for the game, but one of the biggest, it is a kind of point of pride for the whole series. And it is a huge advancement over GTA 3.
Yeah.
Which just had the soundtrack to Scarface as its thing. This instead has a huge licensed soundtrack, lots of different radio stations. They're all different genres and each have maybe 15 songs. It's like getting 10 pretty good 15-song mixtapes to listen to.
Greatest hits of the 80s kinds of things.
Well, secondary hits. It's all second sons, man.
Yeah, I suppose.
I love it so much. It's all second singles. And that, to me, first of all, that feels really lived in because, now, if people are thinking about Thomas Dolby, it's just You Buy Me a Science. That's the one that survived to weddings and shit. But, man, in the 80s, Hyperactive was a reasonable hit in the United States. There's no reason for Hyperactive not to be on the soundtrack. And that song's a fucking banger.
Yeah.
It's all stuff like that, like Fascination by the Human League, Wow by Kate Bush. It's all second sons. And I'm so happy about that. I love second singles that are less successful than the first one, but are still good. Full of it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, but I agree with that. It's fantastic. Gosh, the fact that they had okay, we're going to put Tears for Fears on here, but let's make it Pale Shelter, right?
Yeah, which is a great song, but it's not Everybody Wants to Rule the World, which is what you would expect.
Yeah.
Or Shout, super, super, super good.
Yeah. Which of the stations did you end up? Because for me, it was Wave all the way, but
I have a rotation of 3 between Wave, Emotion, and Flash. Flash had 4 Little Diamonds and Dance Hall Days on it. Emotion has Africa, and then Crockett's theme, which is the best song to drive around at night.
It's so
in
good.
This game, just absolutely fucking incredible.
Yeah.
It also has More Than This and Africa, and that's incredibly fun. Africa is a first son, but this is before the Africa Renaissance. But then Wave is incredible because Wave you get Hyperactive, Wave you get Love My Way, just I'm that dork. These are all bands I like. I like 80s music a lot. And it's a really good 80s mix.
Yeah. I am younger than you. I was born in 1987. And so my exposure to a lot of this music.
Yeah, baby.
What's that? I am baby. I am 33-year-old baby. And a lot of this music just kind of was background stuff, what is it? Just the greatest hits from the 80s, 90s, and today. And you could tell an 80s song when you listen to it or whatever. It is really hard to describe for my cohort, people who turned, 14 or 15 when this came out, how important this was for exposing us to 80s music in a really concerted way and getting us to like it. I have friends who are like, oh yeah, this is the first time that I heard this song or the first time that I recognized that this band slaps. And something like that. This was a huge cultural moment, and it coincided with a broader kind of 80s throwback because of the 20-year nostalgia cycle a little bit. But it was a huge deal.
Absolutely.
To kind of jump into this kind of head first. like back in high school, like I listened to the V-Rock stuff a lot. Like I liked that more so, but like I don't know, it's pretty like Fever's pretty good.
Fever is good.
Yeah, like just
Wild Style is really good.
I will never turn off Automatic by the Pointer Sisters. You know,
yeah. like I'm gonna turn off Rocket by Herbie Hancock.
Yeah,
am I fucking insane? It's also like the way that this worms music into your appreciation is very like specific. There are scripted moments of music. Like there are scripted missions where you'll get in a car and they have a certain thing. And specifically, one of the early things you'll do is you'll be driving around. It's scripted to be at night. And the breakdown from Blondie's Atomic.
Yep.
Plays, which again, great Second Son, like late period Blondie album. Yeah. Comparatively. And it's like this music is perfect for this. This feels like it is the score for this this moment. Yeah. It is using the gameplay to make you recognize that this music slaps by giving you the best possible context for the music to be in.
Really good like soundtracked moments. Like soundtrack as a verb. Like they chose to match up Broken Wings with this particular moment in the story.
And I tend to be kind of resistant to cool. Like I don't like cool things, and I'm very resistant to something trying to be cool. I think this game does that pretty successfly, actually.
I mean, like it's retro, so it's inherently dorky. Like cool, cool, like modern cool is just, unbearable, but like saying like, hey, this is just a throwback. We're going to kind of like lean on this thing that by this point is really tired, but it's actually going to be like perfect for the world. I think that combination of dorky and cool, leavens it and makes it perfectly, makes me susceptible to it anyway.
Yeah. And it ends up also making it feel very cinematic in a way that matches the influences of this. Like we'll talk about the casting, but Goodfellas is one of the influences of this. Yeah. And like going across a bridge while police are chasing you, while the breakdown of Sister Christian plays, is something Scorsese would do. Yes. Really, you cannot talk enough sugar about the soundtrack. It's like one of the best soundtracks. Yeah. In games.
Look at the ending montage to like every episode of Miami Vice, right? Like they're literally doing the exact same thing here. And like that's a thing in media that works. Like it works in television, and you can take that and put it into this form, and like the appeal of it carries over. Like it doesn't, like that is a cinematic thing that doesn't interfere with games at all, like with the actual gameplay, right?
No, and adds to it. And I feel like the reason why this doesn't happen more now, and like at some point licensing music got much more expensive. Like in the 90s, like the state could fucking do it. Yeah. Like, MTV was like, hey, you weirdos, use whatever songs you like. We own music. We're MTV.
Yeah, we're MTV. And this will never make it to home media, so just whatever, we don't need to sign the licenses for that.
And then now it's like, to have this kind of big licensed soundtrack, you either get really rad shit like Hotline Miami, where it's like underground stuff, comparatively underground. If anybody asks me if that, I'll fucking kill you. Underground compared to
there is always more underground, like relatively.
But like you get underground stuff, or it's just companies like Rockstar that are able to do these kind of wide-reaching scores. But at the time, this was like new, and it's not like Rockstar was a small company at this point. Like GTA 3 was a huge hit, but it wasn't, video games weren't what they are today. Like this kind of came about to do this soundtrack with this many big names on it could only really have happened then.
And like it's really important again to put this in context. The only game before this that like had a notable licensed soundtrack was the Tony Hawk series.
Yeah, which also is more underground. And you look at like Rock Band or Guitar Hero, where they're all covers. These are original fucking recordings. Like, it's pretty amazing. As a thing,
it's a feat.
It's a really huge deal, and has a huge impact, not just from like a impact or kind of game history angle, but also from the impact while playing.
Yeah, and like this changed. This game has been out for 18 years now, and it's been reissued a couple of times. Subsequent versions, because tracks, licensing arrangements change, things had to be dropped. So like if you buy this on a modern system today, you're not going to be hearing like Michael Jackson tunes that were originally in there. You're not going to hear Bark at the Moon by Ozzy Osbourne, right?
The subject of a popular documentary. He got taken taken off the soundtrack. The soundtrack was a really big deal. So Epic Records released a 7-album box set of music from the game that each disc, they were abbreviated.
Yeah.
They didn't have every song, but they were divided by an in-game radio station. I remember lusting after this. I never picked it up, but I remember wanting this really bad.
It's so I started working at a GameStop in 2003. Like we still sold this soundtrack for several years after Grand Theft, and they did another one for Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. Like it was always around, and people bought it, frequently enough that we were restocking it.
It's crazy.
Yeah,
absolutely cool.
But I love that it was divided up by in-game radio stations, so you could pick it. Man, this would have been awesome to have in my car.
Absolutely. Just drive around, just match the moment. You didn't end up running over so many pedestrians. It's like if you drive after playing a lot of Katamari.
So the radio is not just songs. There are DJs that they bring in. There are satirical commercials. It is, like listening to the radio, but the world is insane. There are 2 talk radio stations in the game. The material was written by I forget if it was Sam or Dan Hauser, one of the Hausers, and Laszlo Jones, who was the talk radio DJ in the first Grand Theft Auto. And the talk radio is actually pretty emblematic of some of the tone problems that I have with
Rockstar.
With Rockstar and Grand Theft Auto in particular. But it's pretty hard for me to I think that, I don't know, this is probably an overstatement, but I would drive around in this game, I would immediately go to the talk station to listen to it like it was a podcast before podcasts were ever a thing. It was like having a comedy station, or just listening to people talk. After, I was like, oh, who's this Laszlo guy? And then I went and listened to his tech radio show that he did, which was distributed just on his website. You would click the file and it would download, and you would listen to him talk about Blackberries or whatever, and this is in 2002, 2003, seeking out talk media on the
Blackberry
web.
content.
Yeah.
I used to do the same thing too. You'd get sick of the soundtrack or there'd be no songs on that you liked. So you listen to this, and I was 22, so this was funny to me. The kind of mean-spiritedness and sexism and racism and all these things that are a problem with Rockstar.
Yeah.
I did think was funny. There's a commercial where there's a kid who's nobody wants to hear any of your Vietnam stories, Dad. And I still think that's kind of funny.
Yeah.
That really got me when I was young, and now I'm kind of hey, that's mean.
Yeah. He's your dad. You should care what happened to him.
Yeah, Vietnam was actually a complicated tragedy, Rockstar.
Why isn't your comedy station addressing that?
Yeah. This is it's hard for me to get too mad at this kind of stuff. It's annoying. And it's also just having the DJs pop in while you're enjoying a song, Stepping Out by Joe Jackson is playing. And then Tony pops in and yells at you. And it's fuck, man, I just want to listen to the song.
Yeah.
But it almost feels quaint, the shittiness of this. By the time GTA 4 came around, the sexism and stuff against women specifically felt a lot grosser.
Yeah.
And part of that was because I was older, and part of it was because I think that this is a little bit more innocent and lo-fi, and it feels less exploitive when they're just these weird puppet golems, as opposed to something that's actually designed to move my dick. And they're also weirdly just fewer prostitutes in this game. that being a thing that GTA loved, they just kind of got rid of a bunch of them.
Yeah. Not
so good for them.
Smaller incidents of prostitutes to take advantage of. Yeah.
On the PC version, you can put whatever music files you want into a folder, and it will show up as a radio station in there, which is really fun. I put every Smiths album on there, so there's Smiths Radio when I just wanted to drive around, which is a funny idea.
Yeah.
And I had the thought that since it shuffles, I could literally record commercial breaks and stuff, and you could make your own radio station that felt like a GTA radio station.
We could distribute WOFF.
Yeah. on for all those people playing the PC version of Vice City, where we put songs we don't have the rights to and sketches and commercials that we do have the rights to, and put them in there. That's just like it's very fun and really cool idea.
Yeah. Yeah. So, just the mean spiritedness of Rockstar. It's one of those things that I want to, I know you're skeptical of this, but like it's a real delineation between this and Saints Row, which is the distinction between like cynicism and absurdity. Like Saints Row is like weirdly, like broadly, like accepting of its cast of freaks and weirdos in a way.
Yeah, it's a positive kitsch game.
Yeah, yeah. Whereas this is like, there's a core of brutality at the center, and then kind of like around the edges is this accretion of just like everything is stupid and there's no point.
Yeah. It is really immature. Like I can believe that the Saints Row games have a sense of humor that is more, less, abominable than this. Like I think that I attempted to play Saints Row 3 and 4 and just didn't like them very much.
Yeah.
And it was turned off by them, but I don't think that they're problematic and nihilistic the same way that GTA 3 and 4 are.
Yes.
And from what I've read of 5, which I haven't played, but and I believe you and other people when they say it's a good game, I don't believe that it's like good with women.
No, probably not.
Nobody's really making that claim, but also if you were making that claim, I'm not really going to buy it that like GTA 5 is like pretty surprisingly sensitive on the issue of women.
Right.
Like I imagine there's some good trans representation in GTA 5. I don't think that's true, but I do believe that it's less like cynical and gross and South Parky than, or more gross and cynical and South Parky than Saints Row.
Yeah. Just as we're talking, this is the first time we've really had a reason to talk about this broader genre of like crime em ups.
Yeah. Driver and the PSP era where every PSP or every one of those series had like a weird shitty PSP version, like the Driver Sidecar Edition or whatever. That was just like the worst version. So this is a very cinematic game, and has tons of recognizable voice acting, voice actors, and tons of voice dialogue.
Yeah.
The cutscenes are a big draw in this when you're playing it in 2002 and are kind of annoying.
Yeah, it's mostly people. It's mostly people standing around or sitting around in crime locations, just kind of like gesturing at each other and talking.
At each other.
Yeah. But there's enough of like, razzle dazzle to it because like it's good acting. They hired professionals to do this, and it's, written fine enough. Like it's pretty hard to turn down Ray Liotta basically just playing a more psychotic version of Henry Hill in this,
Yeah. Very, very charismatic performance from Ray Liotta.
Totally Oates.
Yeah, totally Oates. As you get, as your star rating goes up, he gets more unhinged. Like if you just are just playing to like just kill people randomly and get your star rating up, he starts just like yelling and getting like more and more crazy sounding. It's pretty fun.
Yeah.
And then just as a genre thing, the guy who played Tubbs in Miami Vice, Philip Michael Thomas, ends up playing Tubbs in this.
Yeah.
Crime Tubbs. Lance Vance, the Crime Tubbs.
Hot Tub Crime Machine?
Hot Tub Crime Machine. Hot Tubs Crime Machine.
Yeah. But it's like, fuck, we're making a Miami Vice thing, so let's just get Tubbs in. Let's do it.
Yeah, can we get the actual dude?
Yeah.
Like when the Venture Brothers got the guy from Fargo, to play basically the same character.
Yeah.
The other actors are also pretty big. Burt Reynolds in this, and this isn't like Burt Reynolds, like has been Burt Reynolds. This is, I think, after Boogie Nights.
Oh, definitely after Boogie Nights.
Yeah. Louise Guzman, Danny Trejo, Tom Sizemore, Lee Majors.
Gary Busey. I forgot to list Gary Busey.
Yeah. The Buse. The Buse is in there. There's like a lot of kind of big name actors in this, recognizable voice talent.
Yeah. Fairuza Balk plays kind of the love interest in this. Remember Fairuza Balk?
I certainly do. From American History X.
Where's Switch?
Give me something in a sexy Nazi. In American History X. The movie did that. Does that movie feature a scene where like I think it's that where the main Nazi in that is like angrily explaining to somebody at a cafe that white men make women come with their dicks. I have this like very distinct scene of Edward Norton yelling that line. Like, we do it with our dicks.
No, I can't recall, and I think that like enough of the times that I watched that movie, it was actually on television. So maybe that line was cut.
Yeah.
So it's hard to. I mean, I like that movie, but like I can't recall if it features a line where Edward Norton is talking about how his dick makes women come.
Like just vaginal, vaginals.
Vaginal. She showed me her vagina, and then I made her come. Made her cum, and then you put a hard B on the end of it.
I bought a box of Vaginals from the dollar store to sneak into the movie theater. They're pussy flavored crackers. Yeah, but no, I have this very distinct memory of him just like yelling at somebody that vaginal intercourse is the only good way to make a woman come. And I was, American History X age, and I was like, nah, dude. I knew that was wrong, even though I was not particularly experienced in the world of love play.
Well, he's a Nazi. He's supposed to be wrong.
Yeah, Nazis don't know how to make people come. So Ray Liotta does a really good job here. He says he just did it for the money, and he was cranky about it. He refused to work with Rockstar again. He does a voice cameo in San Andreas.
Yes,
and the reason why he does it is because he felt like he should have gotten, once this game became the huge hit it was, he felt like he should have gotten more money.
Yeah, which you can negotiate for that. You can take less up front to get points on the back end, dude. Like you should know this as a big Hollywood actor.
I think he probably just underestimated it.
Yeah,
if I had to guess, right? Like, hey, it's a video game. I'll do that. 2002, the idea that video games were like freaking huge was not as big of a thing.
Yeah, it wasn't common knowledge. And he didn't benefit from helping make it happen that games would be huge like this. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So, I mean, like, this is so similar to Grand Theft Auto 3. And it uses so much of the basic engine that like the development story for it isn't really much to write home about. There's just not an awful lot about the way that they made this that is different than that.
Yeah, as we mentioned, originally planned as an expansion.
Yeah.
So Rockstar was a really small team back in the day. The core development team of this was 23 people, which is pretty wild to think about.
Yes.
And they decided to make this not an expansion pack as it grew in scope.
Yeah.
It just kind of got bigger and bigger, and they're like, no, this could be its own product. So they developed this very quickly. GTA 3 launched in late 2001. Vice City started production in earnest around the beginning of 2002 and was announced in May, released in October. So less than a year.
Ridiculous.
Absolutely ridiculous. Even just like negotiating the rights for all the music stuff, recording all the voice acting, stuff like that. Like that is wild. Like,
really time consuming, expensive stuff to do. Yeah. I wanted to put in this little section here about just like the controversy that this game in particular brought about. Like, everybody knows the hot coffee scandal from San Andreas, just in generally the negative reaction that Grand Theft Auto 3 brought because of the prostitution angle. For people who aren't aware, if you roll up on a prostitute with a nice car, she will get in, and if you drive to a secluded place, the car will rock. And your money will drain, and then she will, and your health will go up. And then after she gets out, you are pretty much like incentivized to kill her to get your money back. Like, and that's not good. Don't kill sex workers. Just generally, I would say, I'm going to take a hardline stance on that. Yeah, don't kill people. They're going to die.
But
like they'll die on their own. You're doing a lot of unnecessary work.
Yeah, you're just doing father times work for them, and definitely not people who you've just patronized.
Yeah,
just rude,
just bad all around. But there are a couple of like specific things. So like in 2003, some Haitian groups protested some of the language in the game. I think one of the mission prompts is like kill all the Haitians. They said it was an incitement to violence against Haitian immigrants. Rockstar actually relented on this and took that language out. Probably a good thing.
Yeah. They didn't double down because it was 2002 instead of 2021.
Right.
Michael Bloomberg threatened to sue Take-Two, the game's distributor, at the time. I didn't see this one. I saw the other ones. What was his grounds?
Basically, he wanted to sue them for trying to sell this to teens. Basically, he had no grounds. His whole thing was, I'm Michael Bloomberg. Hey, Dottie, that's in the screen. That's just the arrow cursor.
It's a weird thing for Michael Bloomberg to say.
Yeah, no, sorry. My cat is batting at the cursor on the screen. No, Michael Bloomberg, his grounds was, I'm rich and I want to control the way that everybody behaves. So let's just make some threats. Why don't we? Yeah. I'm the mayor of New York City. And I can tell you what to do. Yeah, no, fuck Michael Bloomberg.
Yep. Bloomberg. In 2003, a man in Alabama shot and killed 2 police officers, and referenced video games in general in the statements he made after his arrest. And this is the basis of the Jack Thompson lawsuit against Sony.
One of the Jack Thompson lawsuits.
Yes, yeah. This is a big point in that whole business.
Yes, Yeah, for people who do not remember, Jack Thompson was basically an ambulance chaser who made his entire living filing suits against the video game industry, positing that they caused all kinds of violence and crime, specifically in children, things like that. At a point, hatred of Jack Thompson was almost the entirety of the gamer identity, which made it very fun when he was on the bad side of Gamergate, and people were like, oh, well, I agree with Jack Thompson, huh? After they spent years threatening to kill him.
One of the worst things that Jack Thompson did was he didn't really provide plausible deniability, because nothing Gamergate ever did was plausible, but he provided this kind of smokescreen to Gamergate where now people who, if Anita Sarkeesian says hey, maybe it's not great to show this woman just getting skinned for no reason, people can be like, they've proven that it doesn't cause violence. You're just being Jack Thompson again. And, just dismiss any and all criticisms about video game violence because of this douchebag taking the dumbest possible approach to this.
He primed an entire generation of enthusiastic video game fans to believe that their hobby was under attack. And credulous lawmakers, who were looking for, kind of a cause celeb, went along with it and provided credence to that. It's not this game, but Hillary Clinton was one of the main people pushing for legislation in the wake of the hot coffee scandal.
Yeah, tipster Gore.
Tipster Gore.
The big tipster and the little tipster. This is actually probably him doing this and kind of contributing to this. Everybody who contributed to that ended up having shitty repercussions that nobody could have predicted.
Yep.
Teaching gamers they are persecuted because Senate had to ask if this quaint ass shit was problematic caused huge problems and did so much damage to this fucking art form and industry. It's pretty amazing, actually. Just giving them that smokescreen.
Yeah. I want to talk about the dumbest lawsuit. There are plenty of dumb lawsuits about this, but the dumbest lawsuit, and I had no idea that this happened because it was very recent. Actually, I just read about this. It was in 2017. The Psychic Friends Network.
Miss Cleo.
Yeah, Miss Cleo.
Call me now.
Yeah, call me now. They claimed that the character in the game, kind of the Haitian gang leader that you work with, Auntie Poulet, they say that Auntie Poulet stole the likeness of one Yuri Harris. Yuri Harris goes by the stage name or professional name of Miss Cleo. If you were alive in the late 90s or early 2000s, you know who Miss Cleo is, at least if you lived in America, because her commercials were omnipresent.
Ran 24/7
yes.
on every network, basically.
Call now to read your future, etc. Yes, she was kind of
and she has a voice like the narrator in Gabriel Knight.
Yes,
that's what we're talking about. And the Psychic Friends failed to really recognize a pretty important fact.
That important fact is that Yuri Harris, this woman, aka Miss Cleo, voiced Auntie Poulet.
Yeah, she's ripping herself off.
Yep.
So, yeah. It's like I'm going to sue for the Gary Butterfield character on this podcast.
No, please don't.
It's incredibly stupid that they did this. Really, really dumb. And just real basic IMDb search could have solved that.
Yeah. Or just ask Miss Cleo.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing that's weird about this is it wasn't on behalf of Miss Cleo. Like,
No.
because she would have stopped this. It's like they just like thought they owned her. Like she couldn't do her own thing. Like I wonder if they felt like she was the one who was breaching the contract. Like you created that character for the Psychic Friends. Now you're doing basically that character outside of our wheelhouse.
Mm-hmm. Oh, maybe. But in 2017.
Yeah, it's pretty late in the uptake. It's like when you like stomp on a dinosaur's tail, it takes 5 minutes for it to get mad. It's like that kind of thing.
Right.
Also, who knew the Psychic Friends were still around? Also, how funny of a name for a thing is the Psychic Friends? Like, why did we just put up with that? Like TV would just be like, here's the Psychic Friends network. And I'm like, cool, a Psychic Friends network, a network of Psychic Friends. I'm down for this. Like, this is something I just won't question. This makes sense in the world.
What? It's so dumb.
Amazing.
Oh, man. So it is impossible to overstate how important Grand Theft Auto Vice City or Grand Theft Auto Vice City along with GTA 3, how important and influential they are. It sold really well. It sold like 500,000 copies in its first 24 hours, which was ridiculous numbers to pull back when the industry was that size. And it reviewed really well. Go back and look, like the reviewers at the time were calling out things like the bad controls and stuff like that. But everybody was just like over the moon with the possibility of this presented to you. Yeah.
Yeah. Not only did, reviewers were doing it, but they ended up liking it on the balance in spite of that, which like I also kind of do.
Yeah.
Like not to get to it is a pain in the ass to play. There are better ways to get this stuff, but there's still very possible to have a lot of fun.
Yeah.
With this. There's an immediate follow-up to the San Andreas, which is similarly huge. I've mentioned this before. The very first video game, I was like, I don't actually have to play this if I don't want to. Where I got sick of doing all the stuff and got frustrated.
I don't know if it's if it was my first one, but like I really remember hitting a point where I was like, nobody is holding a gun to my head about this. And maybe it was because by the time, like Grand Theft Auto San Andreas was one of the first like big midnight launches that I worked. But like I had a job and I had my own money. And like the world of games was open to me at this point. It's like, oh, there's other stuff that I want to play. It's like 2004. It's actually like a really good time for games. So let's go do something else.
I think like for me, it was one of the first games I bought out of obligation. Like I was like, oh, I like this series. Of course I'm going to get this.
Yeah.
And I was just kind of like checking things off the list, doing all the things you can do in that game. Running into the same problems, like getting into a bottleneck where I couldn't continue until I finished flight school or one of the obnoxious things in it. And I have a very distinct memory of like feeling an obligation, feeling like I should make progress in it, and buying the guide from Walmart.
Oh geez, yeah.
Because it felt a little bit like, okay, well this will help me get through this. And also this is productive. And speaking of which, this is total non sequitur. I had a great Freudian slip the other day.
Okay.
I was feeling very anxious about work, and me and Emma were going to go for a walk, and she had like a glass of water that was halfway done. And before we left, I'm like, hey, do you mind if I polish off that glass of work before we go? Because I was thinking about work.
That glass of work. Oh no.
And then I had one of those like great, like, I am so disgusted with myself moments after saying it, where I was like, man, what the fuck, dude? Hey, do you mind if I polish off that glass of work real quick? So fucking dumb.
Man. I like that a lot.
It was funny.
There was a prequel to Vice City released. Vice City Stories came out in 2006. It was kind of a follow-up to just, what was it, Liberty City Stories for the PSP.
There's a prequel to this.
Yeah.
You play as Lance's brother.
Yes, you play as Lance's brother who dies in the opening cutscene in this. But yeah, it was released for the PSP. And there was like later like a, Grand Theft Auto Stories collection for the PS2. I've never played them, but they didn't look good. Like it was a stripped back PSP version of these big games.
Yeah.
That seemed weird.
It's more of the same. Like I remember touching at least all of them, and they're more of the same. And that was more like PSP novelty.
Yeah, like I can play PSP. I can play this big this big console game anywhere I want to.
Yeah. I'll do Killzone Junior and Spider-Man 2 UMD on the go.
Untold Legends.
Yeah.
Tell me more.
Yeah. Tell Legends. Let's turn these into Told Legends. So the series continued. The GTA 4, which we talked a lot about, and 5, which we talked a lot about during these generalities, and GTA Online, which I still see stuff about constantly and still getting new content.
Yeah.
This is the major template for open world games.
Yeah.
Basically, like there are some variations. There are companies that don't hew quite as close to this, but this is really hard, very influential in that, and still its fingers are felt today. Yeah.
Yeah. So let's get into it.
Yeah, that's going to be it for this first intro part, the public part. If you're hearing this, it is because you're not a patron. We thank you for listening. If you'd like to hear the rest of the episode and all of the other premium episodes from here into eternity or until we die, you can go to patreon.com/Duckfeed.tv, and just $5 a month gets you all the back episodes as well as the future ones.
Yeah. It's plenty and some bangers in there. So
absolute bangers.
Yeah. Thank you very much for listening. We'll be back next week with the Dispatch, where we're going to read your responses and then also announce what we're covering in March, I believe. Yeah, there we go. That scans. Yes, that's the ticket.
That is the ticket. And we'll see you next time.